We'll love to get to our goal. Let's get there and then move forward from this. Love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.
All right, guys. Well, I came back and I'm recording this after having done this entire video because such an important thing happened at the very end that invalidates a lot of stuff I was personally speculating about throughout the entire video. So I'm just going to put this right at the front so you guys know what the punchline is, okay? So part of what we were looking at throughout this video is a very, very long post by someone who did a vector mapping analysis, and their, conclusion was that this was an explosion underneath his shirt versus a bullet strike. Okay. And this is just a guy. Now, he sounds extremely credible in the post, but listen, like, I went through this video kind of before I had seen what I'm going to show you in a second, saying there is one big gaping problem in the theory that it's an explosion under a shirt. I will wait and have you guys look at that and you guys can respond to it yourselves. But when I saw this, okay, I did not know this level of scrutiny had gone into it. Like, they ran it through Grok AI. And asked what the video shows as it relates to whether it's an explosion or a 30-06 bullet strike. And Grok says the radio patterns, assuming that's what you meant in this video, show omnidirectional energy spread more consistent with an explosion shockwave than a linear 30-06 bullet trajectory based on forensic imaging analysis. Official reports confirm a sniper bullet to the neck. Raw footage and independent forensics are needed for certainty. So basically you have video that is being analyzed for vectors that you are with energy spread, and the AI is validating what this guy says, which is that this was an explosion, not a bullet. Okay, so at least, just so you know, as we go through this video, the punchline is going to be that there's a lot more to his theory. He says there's no bullet. Like that's the actual one of the purposes of his entire analysis was he's like, there's no bullet. Like, I did this. Like, I can capture energy spread with the tools that I have. There's no bullet. So I will let you guys see all of that and more, because we got other stuff to go over, because we also got the full breakdown of what the official story from TPUSA is of why there was no exit wound. And it's interesting. So I apologize. It's a long intro, but I just wanted to make sure that you didn't go through 25 minutes listening to me completely try to invalidate this theory if like this changes things in a big way. So I wanted you guys to have that information going in. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. Lots to talk about. Okay, so we have a bunch of information coming out that I will go through in a second, but a lot of it actually has to do with the remote detonation like theory or whatever, because there's a guy who does this huge report, which I'll show you in a second, that supports that. But I am going to tell you in this video that there is a major flaw in the Israeli remote bomb theory that basically when I thought about it and really like put it in my brain, I think it invalidates the entire thing. Okay. I think, right? So I'll throw it out to you guys exactly what I'm talking about and where I pulled it from. And then you guys can tell me what you guys think. We're going to talk about the autopsy. The report that there was no autopsy contradicted by a report that came out afterwards. And I think the most interesting thing that came out of this was Alex Jones apparently spoke to the gentleman who said that they found the bullet inside of Charlie, the Superman bones or whatever, the Man of Steel bones. So he actually explained to Alex what their story is about, what happened with the bullet and how it was possible that a 30-06 was stopped in the body. It's actually pretty interesting. I mean, it's like, I'm not necessarily like, okay, but it at least makes more sense than just like, it, just went in the neck and just stopped, So we're going to look at that. And we're also going to look at this, this report right here. Okay. So this is a guy who did just to read this. Okay. So he did an analysis of the videos, and he is saying there is no bullet in any of the footage. Okay. This quote, this isn't sloppy journalism. It's forensic grade pixel forensics screaming that the quote bullet stopped by the steel-like bones narrative is a fairy tale. Yada, yada. Anyway, so he gets into really, really heavy detail with why he's saying that. And then if we have time, I wanted to show you guys this. Now, some people talked about this the other day and I never looked at it. And now that I have, I need to show this to you guys because this is crazy. There's a discrepancy between the video feed from Tyler Robinson's court appearance and another one. So the one that went out to everybody, the video and audio are completely mismatched versus the one that was seen originally like only on local news. And it's so subtle, but what they did with this video when they mismatched the audio, I mean, somebody changed it, right? Somebody took the audio and the video and they moved where his reaction looks like now. It was to a different part of what the judge was saying, a very notable part. And clearly someone did that, and someone did that on purpose. And so it's so subtle though, that you're like, who would do that? You know what I mean? And so we're going to look at that also. Okay. But here's the thing. Okay. Before we even get into all of this stuff and talk about it, I want to say something really quick. Okay. First off, I want to be very clear. Any of the theories that I'm sharing on the channel, it's as simple as this. Okay. I see something that is notable enough that I read about it or looked at it and whatever. I'm like, I make a video about it, or I put it in one of my videos. It's that simple. Like, I am not signed on to any of these theories. As far as I know, Tyler Robinson did this exactly the way that they said. And all those text messages are completely real. And
if you are sleeping in a position like this, you are wrecking your body and your breathing. Obstructive sleep apnea happens when your upper airway repeatedly becomes blocked during sleep, reducing the oxygen intake needed to restore cognitive function and recovery. While it may only result in loud snoring, the hidden dangers are far greater than you think. Over 30 million Americans suffer from sleep apnea, but only 20% know it, and even fewer do something about it. Meanwhile, they end up suffering stress, hormonal imbalance, and an increased risk of a stroke or dementia. If you care about your health and future, there is one simple way to reduce these risks. Introducing Dorilla Ergo, an ergonomic pillow designed to improve your sleep and reduce the risk of sleep apnea by providing the head and neck support needed to improve breathing and posture. Here are 7 excellent reasons you should replace your regular pillow with Dorilla. 1. Tucked neck correction. If your neck is bent and your chin points at your collarbone when you lie on your pillow, you strain your spine and close your breathing tract. Dorilla's curved shape automatically corrects this by keeping your chin raised and letting your spine unwind. 2. support in any sleeping position. Other ergonomic pillows can improve your breathing, but only when lying on your back. They become ineffective when you turn on your side or lay on your stomach. Some can even hinder your breathing further. But Dorilla is shaped for all positions, providing comfort and support for side and stomach sleepers. 3. Shoulder support. Poor shoulder or upper body posture can tighten your neck and upper chest muscles. This tension may reduce airway space or increase airway collapsibility during sleep. Unlike regular pillows, Dorilla acknowledges shoulder comfort by allowing them to unwind and stretch out. 4. Jaw relief. Regular pillows can risk misaligning your lower jaw, causing discomfort, underbite, and clicking. More importantly, it can also affect breathing. That is why keeping tension off your jaw is crucial, and that's part of Dorilla's ergonomic design. 5. Improved airflow. Overheating and moisture can cause nasal congestion and swelling of airway tissues, making breathing more difficult. Dorilla's breathable texture helps maintain a comfortable temperature throughout the night, resulting in less swelling and bacteria. 6. Advanced memory foam. Average pillows quickly lose their shape and elasticity, diminishing any head and neck support they previously offered. But Dorilla's advanced breathable memory foam retains its shape and all of its benefits. 7. Improved circulation. Oxygen must pass through your entire body to maximize its benefits. If uncomfortable pillows cut off that circulation, it may result in nerve damage and reduced sleep quality. Dorilla ensures your arms always have a comfortable resting place without your neck and shoulders cutting off their circulation. But there's more. These are just a few reasons why so many people have already replaced their regular pillows with Dorilla Ergo. They can now sleep peacefully, knowing that Dorilla has their back, as well as their shoulder, neck, jaw, and head. Click the link below to find out about the exclusive limited deals that are available. Time is ticking, so don't wait. Unlock healthy breathing and better sleep with Dorilla Ergo today.
Fill in the blank, dude. Literally, like any possibility, from that end all the way to Israel did it with a remote detonating bomb. And again, I'll tell you what the big major detail in that theory is that's problematic, especially after I'm going to show you a guy who straight up did all of this research to support that theory. Okay, but we're going to get into that right now. But again, I want to reiterate, I am not saying that any of these theories are correct. There's no possible way to know. And as a matter of fact, a good way to evaluate a person's intelligence is to see how confidently they will tell you they know something for sure when you know for sure that they can't know that for sure. Do you know what I mean? That's why Sam Harris is my number one example of that. Going on a tour to tell people that you're an atheist and you want to argue with people about it, that God does not exist. And you're doing it from this like smug chair where you're like, yeah, listen, it's all exactly what it looks like. There's no way that you could prove, like God doesn't exist. And you're like, dude, okay, you can't know that, Sam Harris. Like that is impossible for you to know. You think this is what it is, but for this to be like part of your core being that you'll go and argue with people about it when there is literally no chance that you could know that for sure. It just demonstrates he is an asshole. I don't like that fucking guy. But anyway, now so that out of the way, let's rock and roll. Okay. So we're going to look at this. And by the way, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, I would appreciate that very much. And ring the bell so that you know when I upload, because you never know, man. I might upload something crazy. And if you don't have the notifications on, you won't know. But also if you guys could like this video, that would be amazing as well. All right. So listen to this is the dispatch call, which says that there was no autopsy. Okay, so let's listen to this.
So I did do the request. They emailed me back. He did not go in for an autopsy. The death certificate was signed by the doctor at the hospital.
Oh, okay. Can you just do a field clip documenting that?
I'm sorry, 10-9?
Can you just add a step to the case documenting that there was no autopsy?
287, I'll be clear to the hospital.
I need an officer at Timpanogos Hospital to come stage in the emergency room bay.
At Wayfair, we bring style to every get-together. They brought wings.
You mean these wingback chairs? Dive in, everyone. We brought plenty.
We brought the ranch.
Woo! Wings and ranch? Now it's a party.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Jesse just told me that he just got on the phone and Charlie's wife is coming to Signature and they're bringing a car over here for a ride.
Charlie's wife is coming to land at Signature, you said?
Sir, and Jesse's going to go to Duncan right now and pick up a car for her.
Okay, I'm a little confused because that's what Corey just said. They said they're landing at Duncan, so I don't know where they're landing, but we will just kind of play it by ear, I guess.
So you got it, right? They obviously, overtly, very clearly said that there is no autopsy, right? Again, I don't have any idea, dude, because Turning Point USA says there is an autopsy, and they discuss it in detail with Alex Jones, and you will understand after Alex Jones tells the story why they didn't want to put this information out publicly, assuming that it's true. I mean, again, I find it's very, very hard to believe nonetheless, but still, if it is true what they said, then certainly you could understand why they would not want to put this information out. And so we're going to get to that part right this second. Right after you guys live up to your side of the deal, which is to subscribe to my channel if you're going to watch my content, and then also like this video as an added bonus if you guys actually like my content. All right, let's see. Look, I'm gonna like Stephen Gardner's, right? I liked his. Okay, so let's listen to what Alex Jones was told about this.
To get those exclusive details, let me go ahead and share that with you guys now, and then I will react to it.
I got a call last night from Jack Posobiec, and he says, yeah, we see your viral post from an hour ago where you're quoting the TPUSA spokesperson, who, by the way, is a big fan of yours. You know, you've met him, you've hung out with him, had dinner with him, Andrew Colvin, where he's quoting the surgeon that attended to Charlie when he was brought in, and he didn't want to give the details out, so I understand how it looks a little weird that the bullet didn't go through. You need to call him. So I call him, and he goes, listen, I don't want to give the details out. I said, well, I can't help it if I'm explaining. He goes, okay, fine, but it's really gruesome. And he said that...
By the way, keep in mind, I'm going to share what Alex Jones had to say, what Turning Point USA has to say. He's now going to explain what the surgeon who worked on Charlie Kirk and his destroyed body and neck had to say. I'm also going to tell you what Erica Kirk had to say after seeing her husband's body.
Again, he's being shot from down an angle. It hits the spine and then bounces down, which is what it's going down, and then it hits, it deflects with this velocity, goes back into the spine, blows out 6 vertebrae. The bullet then shatters. That's what they do. I've shot wild hog straight on. This has happened, and deer, and then exploded into the heart, and fragments shot up. So he oversimplified when he said, oh, then they found the bullet up in the shoulder by the neck. No, it was fragments. And I'm sitting there listening to this in the car, and I'm like, yeah, usually I shoot a deer or hog, you know, in the shoulder if you get a clear shot, but in the woods, you only get a front shot. I do it. You hit him in the front. I mean, it'll go in, back out the side, out the front. I mean, it does wild stuff. So I'm not, you know, saying this is absolutely the perfect answer to all of this, but I talked to FBI ballistics experts. They said yes, and I've seen it myself. So that made a lot more sense. So it didn't go through because, oh, yeah, think about it. It's coming down at a major angle, then hits the bone and ricochets down. And I've seen that happen many times where you go into the front of a mammal, and that's what he was, a great man, and then it bounces around. And when I first saw the report, because he was explaining what the surgeon said without giving me all the details, I said, that makes no sense. But I've actually shot hogs on one case. I've shot a lot of them. So they're feral. They want you to get rid of them. And they eat the baby deer and just destroy everything.
Okay, let me just make sure that people are understanding this. So we all see the bullet hole, and we're expecting what happens. The backside is, 6 times bigger than the front, right? But because it was an upward angle and Charlie Kirk is still in the process of leaning backwards, it hits and it goes into his spinal cord, and it literally takes out 6 layers of his spine. Boom, 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 boom. And then it hit his heart, and the heart explodes, pushing the now exploded bullet up into his shoulder. But it's fragmented. It's not just like the magic JFK bullet that has a little tiny dent in it. This bullet is shredded into his shoulder, right? So it takes out 6 layers of vertebrae, the heart. This is also why you didn't see blood squirting to the beat of his heart. You saw a massive gush come out onto his shirt and his shoulder. I told you guys this was graphic, so I hope this isn't too much for anybody. blood mist. There's nothing on the banner, and there's no bullet hole. Let's keep going with Alex Jones here.
I probably shot 90 or more. I was trying to think about it. Wild hogs. I've shot little ones, big ones.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, let me just say the following, right? The thing, so what's this, 541? Okay, so like if you go back here and you look at the screen right here.
The body scanner reveals the brutal truth about your body that your regular scale will never tell you. For weeks, my scale showed I wasn't losing weight despite diet and exercise. I was about to give up until I discovered the Hume Body Pod. This isn't just another smart scale. It's a complete body intelligence system used in over 12,000 health clinics worldwide, now available for your home. The moment I stepped on it and grabbed the handles, it sent safe electrical currents through my entire body, scanning and analyzing my arms, legs, and torso with 98% DEXA accuracy. What I discovered changed everything. While my weight hadn't changed, I'd actually lost 7 pounds of fat and gained 6 pounds of muscle. The Body Pod measured body fat, muscle mass, water, metabolic age, and 40 other metrics, showing me exactly how my body was responding to different diets, workouts, and routines. No more guesswork or frustrating plateaus, just precise data that showed me exactly where to focus my efforts. Because when you can truly measure everything, you can finally improve everything. That's why top doctors, dietitians, and elite athletes all swear by the Body Pod for accurate results. So I recommend you get your Body Pod now while they still have the special discount. That way, you can finally measure and improve the invisible changes your regular scale is hiding from you.
And it's Andrew Colvett. I actually didn't see this until we were just watching it this time. And that's the guy who said the quote. He said, I want to address some of the discussions about the lack of an exit wound with Charlie. I'm usually not interested in delving into most of this kind of online chatter, and I apologize. This is somewhat graphic, but in this case, the fact that there wasn't an exit wound is probably, okay, so I assume he's going to tell that same story. So, I am actually going to very quickly take us on a detour that was unplanned. It's NFL time, and that means it's time for you to join Prize Picks. I don't understand what's daily fantasy. I'll explain that later. What you need to know right this second is that if you deposit $5 and put it in play, they will guarantee give you a free $50 regardless of whether or not you win with that $5 entry fee. Wait, I deposit $5 and I get $50 back regardless of whether I win. Yes, that's correct. So that'd be a 10x return guaranteed. Yeah, that's correct. So who wouldn't do that? I don't know, man. You tell me. Everybody is doing it. So tell us what else we get aside from 50 free dollars. Well, you get to play the best daily fantasy game on the entire internet. Talk to me like a child and explain to me how to play. Prize Picks could not make this game more simple. You're going to pick which sport you want to play, and then you're going to start picking players that you're going to add to your roster. Then we're going to decide whether they're going to get more or less than the stat line provided by Prize Picks. We're going Shadur Sanders, and we're going more because we are eternal optimists. Let's say you want to start small and you put $5 in play on your first roster. You can win up to $187.50. But if you're a big baller and you want to put, let's say, $50 in play, you can win up to $1,875. But let's say you are a big wallet gangster and you want to put $500 into a single roster. You can win up to $18,750 if all of your players deliver. Now, we also got some new features coming in with this new football season, and you're going to be able to play the same player up to 3 times with 3 different stat lines if you want. It's already live on Major League Baseball and WNBA. When you go to Prize Picks, you use the link in the description and you sign up and you use promo code JesseOnFire. You are going to get a free $50 once you put $5 in play. Use the link in the description, sign up using promo code JesseOnFire, put in $5 in play, and get your free $50 back. That's a 10x return. You are welcome. I love all of you guys. Let's go. All right, so I can't believe he's gone. Posted this flyer out. What? I posted this flyer. Our team spotted at Georgetown. And now we find out professors at elite schools are members of this group and its offshoots. Professors must be immediately fired. Hey, fascist, catch. The only political group that celebrates when Nazis die. The John Brown Club. All right, let's look them up. John Brown Club. Far left gun club located in the Puget Sound area, formerly affiliated with the Redneck Revolt. So they are Antifa. Nice. Good for them, dude. Formerly affiliated with Redneck Revolt during the George Floyd protests in 2020, a group attended the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. Wow, you guys really showing up, huh? Like, really strong things to have on your resume. It's like, hey, the Autonomous Zone, how'd that go? The club calls itself an anti-fascist, anti-racist, pro-worker community defense organization. How come so few of you have jobs if you're so pro-worker, you fucking idiots? I literally can't, dude. I mean, I can't with these people. You got an amazing message here from JD Vance about Charlie Kirk. And I mean, man, at the end of the day, it's like, can you, I mean, I have no reason to think that this guy is not telling the truth about this. You know, it's one of those things where you need to really be careful that you're not getting caught up in the kinds of theories that are going to be throwing suspicion at people where it's like, why would this guy do that? Like, why would this guy be involved in a conspiracy to kill Charlie Kirk? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't know him, but like, why? You know, why would he be involved? And the reason that I bring that up is because you have to be able to come up with a coherent reason that anyone who would be involved, okay? Because if you were going to do this, right? If you were going to do this and you're Israel, okay? Or you're some other conspiracy, you would have as few people involved as possible. Not as many, as few. So you're not just going to be adding people on, you know? You're not just going to be like randomly adding people on. And so he's the son of Nevada, America. He's a spokesperson for TPUSA and an executive producer of his show. What possible reason would Israel have to bring this guy on the inside of an operation like that? I mean, maybe I'm not seeing it. You know, people could tell me in the comments what you guys think, but I don't know. To me, I can't figure out why that would be a thing. You know what I mean?
Little ones, big ones. Biggest I ever shot was like 400 pounds. Shot it at about 300 yards or so, straight on. Because it came out of the woods, was turned. I was afraid it was about to go back in. I wanted a side shot, but I shot it.
He's going to make a
shoot
point
it right
here
in
in
the
a minute.
face. Said it went right under the neck. And that was a 300 Win Mag, very similar to a 30-06, a little more powerful, but basically the same. And it went in, so we butchered it later.
300 Win Mag goes about, if I remember correctly, 400 or 500 feet per second faster than a 30-06. I think it's like 20, I think it's like 3,000 feet per second versus like 25 or 2,600 or something.
About 2 feet. So to the lower intestine, well, it hit some ribs, broken to pieces, but a bunch of it bounced back up into the shoulder. So people are like, what do you mean magic bullet? Well, magic bullets because they shot Kenny with more than one bullet.
Maybe. But again, so like bottom line is, that's the story. And Alex Jones is saying, I guess like, you know, he shot a hog that would potentially support that. It's unbelievable the number of people that I know who are like insanely experienced hunters who I have like not hit up about this. And I'm more just like, I'm just talking, dude. I'm like, it's impossible. I mean, because I mean, listen, dude, I've shot a lot of guns, man, like a lot of guns. And again, I'm like, it's just common sense. But I guess if it's going at some weird angle, yeah, I don't know. To the point that Steven made though, like the fact that like the amount of blood that was there, you know, out of the gate was just like shocking. You know, like I've never seen that. I mean, I guess I haven't seen a lot of people shot to death, come to think of it. But the ones that I have seen in videos and stuff, like that's the worst one I've ever seen, I think. Like in terms of like how graphic it was. I know it was. And it happened to be a person who, you know, we all feel like we had a relationship with. In some cases you guys did. Now I want to move over to there is no bullet theory. Okay. So this is what this guy is talking about. All right. So he says, breaking, my vector mapping analysis exposes the bullet lie in Charlie Kirk's assassination. Folks, I've crunched the numbers literally using advanced pixel flow vector mapping on 3 distinct angles of high-res footage From the September 10th UVU event, I've traced every single energy signature in the chaos. Zero, nada, not a single linear kinetic vector consistent with a supersonic 30-06 round impacting flesh, fabric, or air. This isn't sloppy journalism. It's forensic grade pixel forensics screaming that the bullet stopped by his steel-like bones narrative is a fairy tale. Charlie was a fighter, sure, but dense bones don't defy physics. Let's unpack why this recovered slug under the skin story crumbles out under scrutiny, especially when paired with the explosive Mike theory that's holding up like a champ, okay? So here's the reality, right? Is I'm going to tell you at this exact moment what I was referencing earlier, okay? Because I talked, like Gabrielle and I on our channel on Play With Matches, which is blowing up, by the way, son. Like, Play With Matches is going off right now. We the video that we put up today has 100,000 views already. We've never had a video do over 100,000 views, period, and it's done it already today. So if you don't follow Play With Matches, you should definitely go do that. It's a newer channel, but it's me and Gabrielle, and it's awesome. Anyway, so we were going over this, and I said at this moment is when it hit me. I'm like, because I look at the footage. They're jumping over the tables and they're doing whatever they're doing and it looks shady. And then you automatically have in the back of your head that Israel did this thing with the pagers. And so you're like, okay, Israel is putting pressure on Charlie Kirk. Israel did these pagers, remote detonated thing under his shirt makes sense. And then if that makes, and then like these guys ruffling around, looks weird, but who knows? You know what I mean? And so like, it looks credible enough to like talk about it. I mean, obviously everybody was talking about it, is talking about it. Here's the problem. Okay, this is the primary, nearly insurmountable problem for me right at this moment. Okay, is the only way that you do it, right? And he talks about this in here, and I actually had talked about this before, where the way you would be able to do it to where people wouldn't realize that it happened under the shirt is the remote needs to set off 2 detonations at the same time. Okay, the same remote sets off 2. Okay, and the one is on him. The other one is wherever you want them to believe that the shooter is, right? You get a patsy up there, sniping. You hit the button. It goes off here, and then it goes off over there, and the much louder one is over there. So it would literally drown out any noise associated with him being, blown up right here, right? So here's the thing for why that doesn't work. I don't think, now that I'm thinking about it, is they obviously are, Israelis, there are a lot of things. Stupid ain't one of them, right? So they're going to be able to think of all of this stuff. And you're selling the fact that he was shot, right? They obviously know this is going to be recorded in every possible direction, right? There's going to be recorded in every direction. Now, I will note, though, that Candace says she cannot find any good footage from the side where the blood is now. There's like that one video, but then like that's it. And then it's just like she can't find anything good from there. I mean, I don't know what that represents or whatever, but like it could just be people who have it are like, Jesus, this is terrible. And it's being filtered all over social media. But nonetheless, right? You are selling the fact that he's being shot. So it's going to be recorded, but you're not shooting him. You're putting a bomb on his chest, right? I mean, or maybe some kind of projectile, but like I don't, you know what I mean? Like maybe there's some kind of projectile that's like, here. And so it shoots. And I mean, I guess it's possible that the thing actually shoots a bullet of some kind or whatever, but that just, I don't know. Are we talking like, I guess if they're saying that it was like a bullet, right? But then it hit him in the neck. So what, it was like facing up. It's like the microphone has a bullet and it just, goes up. I mean, I guess, but why? I don't understand. Why would that not cause an exit wound either if it's going off right there on his neck? So what I'm saying is like, if it's not going to be a gunshot wound, like not a traditional gunshot wound, you leave yourself so much opportunity to get caught because your entire patsy, and that whole thing that you've set up over here, if this is accurate, is telling the story that he was shot, but you're not shooting him. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, who knows? I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. This is the thing that I thought about, right? So no impact energy signatures on multi-angle footage. So in ballistic events, a high velocity round going 2,700 feet per second for a 30-06 creates a telltale shock plume, a directional pixel displacement for the hypersonic entry, cavitation bubble in tissue, and exit yaw. I mapped vectors across 4K clips, pre-shot baseline, impact frame, and 5-second aftermath results. Omnidirectional microvibration radiating from Charlie's chest mic position, not a straight line pierce. It's blast overpressure, folks. Spherical expansion from an internal source, like a triggered charge in the Rode Wireless Pro. If it was a bullet, my flow maps would have lit up like a tracer round. They didn't. Okay. The Man of Steel bullet defense, officials say 30-06 was stopped under his skin due to dense bones. Heroic spin, but laughable science. At that velocity, even Superman's ribcage fragments the projectile into hydrostatic chaos. Tissue explosion. Wait, what am I looking at? Slowed it down for people in the back who don't know what they're looking at. This proves one thing, no bullet. How does that, I don't understand. How does that prove there's no bullet? Let's see what, I've analyzed the vector mapping, and the officials reports from sources like FBI and Wikipedia describe a sniper's 30-06 striking Kirk's neck with the suspect arrested. Conspiracy posts on X highlight mic explosion theories, noting no clear linear path in frames. Pixel artifacts show radial patterns, but without independent forensics, it's speculative. More raw data is needed for clarity. Okay, so based on this is obviously Grok. Based on this racial patterns, or based on this racial patterns displayed in this post, evaluate if it shows 30-06 bullet type strike pattern or something else. The radial patterns, assuming that's what you meant in the video, show omnidirectional energy spread, more consistent with explosion shockwave than linear 30-06 bullet trajectory, based on forensic imaging analysis. Whoa! Official reports confirm a sniper bullet to the neck. Raw footage and independent forensics are needed for certainty. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, well, I guess that basically invalidates everything that I said, questioning this theory. Wow. Okay. Honestly, I think that is it for our video. I was going to show you guys this. I'll just tell you, okay? There are two versions of this video. In one of them, he nods when the judge gives him some instructions, and someone took the footage and edited it to make the nod that he gave like match with when the judge is reading the accusation, saying that he shot Charlie Kirk because of his political beliefs, and then he makes that nod, and they edited it to make it seem like he was nodding at the accusation. Okay. Now, obviously, this is important because if we're saying that this is some kind of Israeli plot or whatever, the most important part of that after the deed is done is getting your lone shooter to be the single person who is responsible for this, and then making it all go away. Like that's like the standard operating assassinate a political figure playbook. And so it could have just been someone who was, being like whatever, but it could have been a state actor. And the thing is, it's so subtle that I'll just show it to you actually really quick. Watch this. Watch this.
Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. That concludes reading the information.
That was it, right? Very, very small nod, but it's there. That actually seems to have happened at a different part of the video. Okay, so, and that also brings me to an important note about the Candace Owens thing that she said about that Tyler Robinson is not. By the way, whenever I say Tyler Rogers, okay, I realize I'm doing that over and over and over. It's because I know a guy named Tyler Rogers was in my fraternity. Very notable character for a very specific reason that I won't get into right now. But like, so when I start Tyler it's like it always just goes Rogers. Okay, so Tyler Robinson, right? The story that Tyler Robinson was never even on the campus, and that this entire government narrative is made up, that the dad didn't turn him in, that all that stuff is just completely fabricated by the government that Candace put out. Okay, so again, I want to make very clear that I'm not signing on to any of the theories, right? Like I put out what Candace said and gave some commentary on it, and I commended her bravery, which I still do. That doesn't mean that I'm saying I believe what she's saying is for sure going to be accurate. What I will say, what I do believe is that for sure a source came to her and said that. Okay, like I absolutely trust Candace not to lie. Okay, I don't think that she would ever do something like people think she's doing these like conspiracy theories to just get clicks. And I'm like, okay, what I can tell you about you against like versus me is you might be better at a lot of things than I am, but you're not better at reading people, dude. Okay, because I can tell like there's no question in my like not a question that she absolutely believes what she is saying. At the very least, that like she's suspicious enough to talk about it. Okay, like she's not going to string together like stuff she knows to be false just to get clicks. I would literally bet my life on that. I have that much faith in her, like that's what she is. Okay. However, that doesn't mean she can't be used. Okay. Like if you are, this is exactly what my point is going to be right now about, think about the incentives of the people who are involved in this. That's where I always go. What are the incentives, right? Like with the thing about the Turning Point USA guy who said the thing about the autopsy. Okay, well, whoever would be in charge of this would be incentivized to involve as few people as possible because they don't want to get caught. They don't want to have loose ends. There's no reason to involve him, which kind of is like, okay, so why would, but maybe the new people, they had to get a couple people at the top of the company that were going to take over once they took over. I mean, who knows, right? But when it comes to this situation with Candace, the incentive is very, very simple to understand why someone will come to her and bullshit her about this, okay? She said that his family, the story about his family is BS, which means she clearly must have a line to the family, to the dad, the mom, whatever, which means there's a high probability that the family's talking. And if you are the family, even if your son really did kill Charlie Kirk, okay, he's facing the death penalty. Okay, I'm not condoning them. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just saying if they were, going to Candace Owens and they're like, we need to, I mean, like you just go to sleep every night, just overwhelmed. I can't even imagine being in that situation. It's really easy for everybody in our position to kind of pass judgment. Like if my son did that, like I wouldn't help them even a little bit. And I certainly, that's what I say right now. I mean, that is what I say right now, actually. I wouldn't help him. But I can understand someone who was so overwhelmed by their parental instinct to like save their kid that they're like, I can't let him get the death penalty for this. Like I need to do something to help his case. And, Candace is running with 100 different things coming this way, that way. And she's very good at stringing narratives together that would invalidate the official story and will probably give us a much better chance of winning this case. So let's tell her this. You know what I mean? I mean, that's easily a way where what she's saying could be true and simultaneously not actually represent what happened here in this case. You understand what I'm saying? But who knows? Could have been Israel. All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.